What's going on, everybody? I'm Jade Esteban Estrada, and this is Open Mic Thursdays right here at Same Spot in San Antonio, Texas. Thank you. We're sitting here talking to the director and writer of the new vampire movie that's coming to San Antonio called Blood Rivals, Santos el Vampiro. It will be screening for the first time for a world premiere on October 10th, 2008. I've been saying 2009 a lot. I guess I'm preparing emotionally for this. But we were talking a little bit about the film and how these are not your normal, everyday, dangerous liaisons kind of vampires. They're actually Tex-Mex vampires from, in some cases, the south side of San Antonio.
South side, San Antonio, Nuevo León, Mexico.
So sucks!
You know, yeah, they're here. They're San Antonio people now. You know, they're like natives, sort of, like the undead of San Antonio.
Right.
And what's interesting is the character you played, JC, which is short for Jose Cisco, which he hates being called that.
That's true.
He pretty much wants to stay in San Antonio, run out any new vampires, and claim the city as his own, as the undead. Kind of like the real Jade Estrada would like to do today, right? So, with that, the title will be Blood Rivals. This episode is called Santos el Vampiro. And we make another one, it'll be Blood Rivals, The Return of Fear, or JC Gets Lucky, or something like that.
Right. Now, I have to ask you this. Now, I want to seg into a little bit about what it's like for filmmakers to shoot in Texas. A lot of times, there's just no budget whatsoever. You know, you might be friends with Michelle Pfeiffer, and she'll come and do this, and your grandpa or your father-in-law might have access to a great studio. But there is really not a lot of money in Texas to make films. Tell us, like, the most uncomfortable experience you had trying to shoot a very important film under unusual circumstances.
Well, I have a notorious record of being interrupted by cops a lot. When I first started out making movies, we would shoot on the weekends. I would use like city parks or city scenes, and somebody would get paranoid. They'd see a fake gun or they see people walking around with equipment. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, within 10 minutes, a cop shows up. We had to report that, so one of you is carrying a gun, you know, and once they see it's plastic, the cops usually get mad, not really at us, but at the people calling in and stuff like that. Some uncomfortable situations. I've had people just literally walk up to the camera. Hey man, what's going on? What are you doing?
Right.
Well, can I be in the movie too? You know, stuff like that, and you know, it doesn't work.
It does happen. As a matter of fact, I had a very interesting experience in Austin, Texas. A lot of actors from the San Antonio area, or Houston, whatever, we do go to Austin quite a lot. And there was a woman who invited me to audition in like her apartment complex. It was a nice apartment complex, but I walked in and her apartment was all like a set. There were things, it was just like the set of Sanford and Son, but like it was made to be that way, with paint everywhere. And she said, I want you to act like you're going crazy and use the props around you. Well, you know, I'm Jade Esteban Estrada, no problem. And I did it, and I was waiting for her to say stop, but she never did. And so once I got to use all of the props that were in the room, I opened the door and started screaming at the people outside. And there was this guy on the cell phone going, I'll call you back. You know, like, it was just, I was screaming like, you know, what's wrong with you? Da, 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 da. And I walked back in, and then she's all like, I really like it. I'll call you later, see if you got it, but I really love what you were doing. Literally 35 minutes later. So I leave, she emails me later that night, she goes, dude, the cops totally came by, and they thought it was real funny when I told them the whole story. But in Austin, San Antonio, and places, it's not Hollywood, not New York, it's not typical for civilians to see this kind of thing going on. So we do have to sometimes make things work sometimes. The Texas Motion Picture Alliance, we were talking about that before. They're working really hard to bring incentives to the state of Texas. If you had a chance to speak to Governor Perry about the importance of bringing more filmmaking to Texas, how would you go about that?
Well, Governor Perry, I love Texas, I love America. Texas is big. It's bigger than New York, and it's bigger than California. It's bigger than New York and California put together. That's how big we are. Come on, talk about that. The thing is, not only acting-wise, but there's like music-wise too, you know, for that talent. And we need to get that incentive going. We need to get that budget going. We have important things that we want to show and we got to express. You know, it may seem like nothing now, but believe me, 20 years down the line, you know, you get a family wanting to go on vacation just because of this location, you know, just because, you know, for example, Miami is booming with vacations because of the movie Scarface. You know, we need to have something, maybe not a Scarface movie, but some kind of movie made here in Texas. People will want to come reminisce and see.
Barbacoa Face is something I auditioned for last week, and I hope I get it. Yes. A lot of people don't know this, but the movie The Alamo was almost shot in Canada because they have incentives in Canada. Please come make your films here.
Hey.
Exactly. They'll be like, The Alamo, eh? And a lot of people don't know this, but our competitors in the industry in this middle part of the country are New Mexico and Louisiana. The governors of both these states are very smart about this, and that's why a lot of films are being made in those two states. And Texas is kind of lagging behind, so we hope Governor Perry here's what you have to say. You've got this Robert Rodriguez thing going on. I was just wanting to ask you about that. Is that like you know, I don't know, do all filmmakers like have that look?
Well, I've been editing, pretty much. I've been editing for 14 days straight, and I have a bad hair day. But since you mentioned Robert Rodriguez, yeah, I guess it is kind of a rip from him.
Well, I really like the look. It's very nice. Don't you guys like the look? I like the look. I like it. My acting teacher used to always say, if you like it, steal it. More than likely, he stole the look from Aunt Jemima, and so now it's yours. It's yours. Well, I think that's we're all rolled up, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carlos Pina. He's the director-writer of Blood Rivals, Santos el Vampiro, showing at the Charlene McCombs. See if I can say this. Charlene McCombs Empire Theater, October 10th, 2009, downtown San Antonio. Go see it. Thank you so much. This is Open Mic Thursdays. Oh, we have one more thing to do.
Just one more thing before I hog your show. I got these today from Dara Miller. This is the VIP passes for our main cast, and you will be the first person to receive this.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Darmin, I love you. She makes a killer pot roast. This is the back to school edition of Open Mic Thursdays.